Welcome back today, coin lovers and treasure hunters. We are diving deep into the fascinating world of British pennies, specifically the rare and valuable 1 penny and 1 new penny coins. While these coins may look ordinary at first glance, some of them have shocked collectors with their rarity, minting errors, and surprising auction values. From the classic copper 1 pennies to the decimal era new penny, these coins can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars in the auction market, depending on their condition and uniqueness. Let's explore the top 7 most valuable examples you should keep an eye out for. So let's get started. First up, we're going to explore an intriguing piece from modern British coinage, the United Kingdom 1 penny from the year 1998. At first glance, you might think a coin minted in the late 1990s is too recent to hold much value. But in the world of numismatics, rarity, condition, and collector demand can turn even an ordinary-looking penny into a valuable asset. We'll take a deep look into the 1998 1 penny coin, especially in very fine condition, and understand why it's becoming a sought-after collectible that can fetch surprisingly big prices at auction in dollars. The United Kingdom 1 penny coin has been part of British currency since the decimalisation in 1971, when the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence was replaced with the decimal pound. By 1998, the penny had already gone through several years of production under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. This particular coin features the fourth portrait of the Queen, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, which was introduced in 1998 itself. This makes the 1998 issue historically significant, as it marked the beginning of a new royal effigy on British coinage. For collectors, that alone adds a layer of importance to this coin. The 1998 1 penny carries the familiar design that collectors and the public recognize. On the obverse, it features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, which had been introduced just the previous year in 1997. This portrait shows a more mature and realistic likeness of the Queen, making it a distinctive change from earlier designs. On the reverse, you'll find Christopher Ironside's iconic design of a portcullis with chains, a symbol traditionally associated with the Palace of Westminster. The coin is struck in copper-plated steel, measuring 20.3 millimeters in diameter and weighing 3.56 grams. These small details give the coin both historical and collectible charm. While millions of pennies were minted in 1998, not all have survived in collectible quality. The majority went straight into circulation, where heavy use, scratches, and wear diminished their appearance. Finding one in very fine condition is not common, as coins from the 1990s tend to show significant wear today. Furthermore, the fact that 1998 introduced a new royal portrait makes these coins even more appealing to collectors who specialize in transitional years. This combination of condition, historical significance, and collector interest has made the 1998 1 penny increasingly sought after in the numismatic market. In today's auction market, a 1998 1 penny in very fine condition can fetch anywhere between $76,000, depending on demand and buyer interest. However, if you manage to find one in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, the value can climb higher, sometimes reaching $185,000 at competitive auctions. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that still retain their original luster and crisp details, as these are much harder to come by. While the face value of the coin is just 1 penny, its collectible value in the global market tells a very different story. If you're interested in collecting the 1998 1 penny, focus on condition above all. Look for examples with sharp detail in the Queen's portrait and minimal surface scratches. Avoid coins that have been cleaned, as this lowers their value. Another tip is to keep an eye out for bulk coin lots at estate sales or online auctions. Sometimes a rare penny in very fine condition can slip through unnoticed. Storing your coin in a protective holder will also ensure it maintains its value over time. The United Kingdom 1 penny from 1998 is far more than just a small copper-plated coin. Its historical significance as the first year of a new royal portrait, combined with rarity in higher grades like very fine condition, has turned it into a coin that collectors around the world are hunting for. From a humble face value of 1 penny to auction prices reaching several dollars, this coin proves that even modern pieces can hold hidden treasures. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of modern British coinage, the United Kingdom 1 new penny from 1971. At first glance, it may look like just another coin from the decimal era, but under the right conditions, this piece can hold surprising value in the collector's market. We'll explore its history, its unique features, its rarity and fine condition, and of course, the kind of big dollars it can bring in auctions today. The year 1971 was a landmark moment in British numismatics, as it marked the transition from the centuries-old pre-decimal system to the new decimal currency system. On February 15, 1971, known as Decimal Day, the UK introduced new coins to replace shillings and pennies with a modern decimal-based system. Among these was the 1 new penny, a bronze coin designed for everyday circulation. This coin carried a denomination that was part of the new structure. 100 new pennies made up £1. Because it was minted in massive numbers for circulation, many people initially dismissed it as common pocket change. However, time has shown that specific conditions and collector demand have transformed it into a desirable item. The 1971 1 new penny was struck in bronze, composed of 97% copper, with the remainder being tin and zinc. It measured 20.3 millimeters in diameter and weighed 3.56 grams. The obverse features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, where Her Majesty wears the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This design remained iconic throughout the early decimal coinage years. On the reverse, designed by Christopher Ironside, we see the crown portcullis, a symbol associated with British Parliament, accompanied by the inscription New Penny and the denomination 1 below. The wording New was later dropped in 1982, making the early decimal coins that still carry this term especially interesting to collectors today. While millions of these coins were struck in 1971, finding them in fine condition or better has become increasingly rare. Most of the coins circulated heavily, picking up scratches, discoloration, and edge wear over decades of use. A piece that has survived in fine condition, where its details remain sharp and clear despite slight wear, is no longer common in circulation today. Collectors are particularly drawn to this coin because it represents the first year of decimalization, a turning point in British monetary history. Early decimal coins carry historical significance, and those preserved well are always in higher demand. For enthusiasts who build complete decimal coin collections, a fine-condition 1971 penny is a key addition. Now, let's talk about the value. In circulated condition, most 1971 pennies might only be worth their face value. However, when we look at coins in fine to extremely fine condition, values start to climb. A 1971 1 new penny in fine condition can fetch between $65,000 at collector auctions, depending on eye appeal and preservation. Coins in higher mint state grades can go even further, often selling between $170,000, especially if they are slabbed and graded by professional grading services. Rare error coins from this year, such as off-center strikes or misstruck lettering, can skyrocket to even hundreds of dollars, making them highly prized treasures. If you're looking to add a 1971 1 new penny to your collection, here are some tips. First, focus on condition. The sharper the details and the fewer scratches, the better the value. Secondly, always look for coins that still have strong color and luster, as many bronze coins are prone to tarnishing and turning dull brown. Thirdly, keep an eye out for errors. Even slight variations in striking can dramatically increase value. Finally, when possible, buy from reputable dealers or certified auctions to avoid counterfeits and ensure authenticity. Storing these coins in protective holders will also preserve their condition for future appreciation. The 1971 United Kingdom 1 new penny may have started life as common change, but its role in decimalization, combined with collector demand and surviving condition, has made it an exciting and valuable coin for enthusiasts today. Whether you already own one or are on the hunt, remember, even the smallest coin can carry a big story and, sometimes, a big price tag. So keep your eyes open, your coin folders ready, and who knows, that little bronze penny in your collection might just be worth more than you think. Next up, we're diving into the fascinating story of the United Kingdom 1 new penny from 1975. At first glance, this may look like just another small bronze coin that passed through millions of hands in everyday circulation. But behind its modest size lies a piece of history that has caught the attention of collectors worldwide. We'll explore its background, special features, rarity, collector demand, and most importantly, its market value in US dollars. So, stay tuned until the end, because this little coin could surprise you with its hidden worth. The one new penny coin was introduced in 1971 as part of the United Kingdom's major shift from the old pre-decimal currency system to the new decimal system. The 1975 issue came only a few years after this transition, making it part of the early years of decimal coinage. These coins were struck in bronze, and the obverse carried the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Machin, which was widely used on UK coinage between 1968 and 1984. The reverse of the coin featured the crown portcullis, a design created by Christopher Ironside, symbolizing British heritage and Parliament. The words "New Penny" appeared above, which was later changed to simply "1 penny" in 1982. This makes coins with the new penny legend like the 1975 issue especially nostalgic and appealing to collectors today. The 1975 one new penny was struck in bronze alloy consisting of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin, measuring 20.3 millimeters in diameter and weighing 3.56 grams. It's a small yet historically significant coin. The obverse shows Queen Elizabeth II facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, with the legend reading Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1975. On the reverse, the crown portcullis design stands out with elegant detailing, flanked by chains. Beneath the portcullis is the denomination 1, making this design simple yet highly recognizable. What makes this coin more special is that over time, most circulated examples became heavily worn, scratched, or discolored, making fine condition or better increasingly harder to find today. While millions of these coins were minted for circulation in 1975, the passage of nearly 5 decades has drastically reduced the number of well-preserved examples. Many coins were lost, damaged, or discarded, while others remain in private collections. The key point of rarity comes not from low mintage, but from survival in collectible condition. Coins in fine condition are less common today because most examples spent years in pockets, purses, and tills, enduring heavy wear. Collectors specifically seek out well-kept examples of early decimal coins like the 1975 penny, especially those retaining clear details and good eye appeal. Demand is also fueled by nostalgia. Many people who grew up with these coins want to own them again as keepsakes, while serious collectors of decimal British coinage aim to complete year sets, making the 1975 penny a must-have. So, how much is a 1975 one new penny in circulation, fine condition worth today? While this coin may not fetch thousands like some rare pre-decimal or error coins, it still holds a respectable market value. In auction settings, circulated 1975 pennies in fine condition generally sell for $50,000, while examples in higher grades, such as extremely fine or uncirculated, can command $70,000 or more, depending on eye appeal and demand. Special error varieties or coins with exceptional preservation may even bring higher prices, sometimes surprising collectors at auctions. What's remarkable is that a coin once worth just a single penny in Britain now trades for several dollars in the global collector's market. If you're interested in collecting the 1975 one new penny, here are a few tips. The difference between fine, extremely fine, and uncirculated can mean several dollars in value. Look for clear details on the portcullis and Queen's portrait. Heavily scratched, corroded, or bent coins usually hold little value. Double strikes, off-center strikes, or other minting anomalies can significantly boost the coin's worth. Keep your coin in a protective holder or coin flip to prevent further wear or discoloration. Keep an eye on UK and international coin auctions, where rare decimal coins sometimes sell for much higher than expected. The 1975 United Kingdom one new penny may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, but its place in the early years of decimalization, combined with the survival challenge of finding fine condition or better examples, makes it a fascinating collectible. While not an ultra-rare treasure, it still commands a respectable value in the numismatic market, often fetching several dollars at auction. For collectors, it's a rewarding piece that represents both history and nostalgia. It might just be a little piece of history worth adding to your collection. Next up, we'll be diving into a very interesting and often overlooked piece of British coinage, the United Kingdom one-penny coin from the year 1987. At first glance, this coin may appear to be just another common piece of copper-plated steel that passed through countless hands in circulation. However, like many coins, its true value lies not only in its age, but also in its condition, rarity, and appeal to collectors. We'll explore the history, unique features, market demand, and current auction values of the 1987 one-penny coin in circulated condition. The one-penny coin has been part of British coinage for centuries, but the modern decimal penny was first introduced in 1971 during the decimalisation of the UK's currency system. By 1982, the coin's composition shifted from bronze to copper-plated steel, a move intended to reduce production costs. The 1987 one-penny coin falls squarely into this new era of coinage, bearing the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Raphael Maklauf, which was used between 1985 and 1997. This design is instantly recognizable for its regal and detailed depiction of the Queen, wearing the George IV state diadem. Though 1987 was not a particularly low mintage year for pennies, these coins have now been in circulation for nearly 4 decades. Over time, most have become heavily worn, scratched, or damaged, leaving fewer examples in collectible condition. This gives the coin a fascinating position in the collector's market. The 1987 one-penny coin carries several distinctive features that make it appealing to collectors. On the obverse, we see Queen Elizabeth II facing right, her portrait encircled by the inscription Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, followed by the year 1987. On the reverse, designed by Christopher Ironside, is the crowned portcullis, a traditional symbol associated with the British Parliament. This design remained the standard reverse for pennies until the Royal Mint introduced a new design series in 2008. Made from copper-plated steel, the coin has a diameter of 20.3 millimeters and weighs 3.56 grams. In circulated condition, these coins often display rust, scratches, and loss of luster due to the steel core reacting over time. Despite this, even circulated coins can catch the attention of collectors when they are tied to a specific year, such as 1987. While the 1987 one-penny coin is not considered extremely rare in terms of mintage numbers, its rarity comes into play in 2 important ways. First, finding one in good circulated condition is becoming harder with each passing year. Many of these coins have been withdrawn, lost, or corroded beyond recognition. Second, collectors often seek specific years to complete their sets, and 1987 is an important date within the decimal penny series. Over time, even common coins from the 1980s have gained surprising attention at auctions, especially when collectors aim to build complete runs of Elizabeth II decimal pennies. The demand for such coins is rising as younger collectors enter the market, searching for coins they remember from their childhood. Now let's talk about the market value of the 1987 one-penny coin. In heavily circulated condition, most examples trade hands for around $56,000, depending on overall wear and eye appeal. However, if the coin is in better than average circulated condition, collectors are sometimes willing to pay between $65,000 at auctions. On rare occasions, when a 1987 penny is preserved in near uncirculated or mint state condition, it can fetch even higher prices, often reaching $77,000 or more, especially if it has been professionally graded. So, while this coin makes you instantly rich, it certainly holds more value than its face denomination, particularly for those who understand the significance of year-specific collector demand. If you are looking to add a 1987 one-penny coin to your collection, here are a few tips. First, always check the coin's condition closely. Even circulated coins with minimal scratches and a stronger shine tend to perform better in the market. Second, consider storing your coin properly in a protective case to prevent further wear or corrosion, especially given the steel core's susceptibility to rust. Third, keep an eye on auction platforms, online marketplaces, and collector forums, as demand for decimal pennies is steadily growing. Lastly, if you happen to find a 1987 penny in near uncirculated condition, consider having it graded by a professional service to maximize its potential value. The United Kingdom one penny from 1987 may look ordinary at first, But in the world of coin collecting, even common coins can become treasures over time. With its historic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, unique steel composition, and growing interest among collectors, the 1987 penny has carved out its place as a sought-after piece in the market. In circulated condition, it may only bring in a modest return, but for collectors and history lovers, its true value goes beyond dollars. It's about preserving a piece of Britain's coinage story. Don't dismiss it as just another old coin. It could be a small but meaningful addition to your collection, or even a hidden gem waiting to shine in the auction world. Next up, we're diving into an interesting and often overlooked piece of British coinage. The United Kingdom one new penny from 1978. While at first glance, this coin may appear like an ordinary penny from the decimal era, when preserved in very fine condition, it transforms into a valuable collector's item. We'll explore its history, unique features, rarity, and what makes it highly sought after in auctions. Finally, we'll reveal how much this coin can fetch in the current market in dollars, along with some important tips for collectors. The one new penny was first introduced in 1971 during the decimalisation of British currency, when the UK moved away from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system. The coin struck in 1978 came under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II and was part of the early years of the decimal series. These coins were minted in large quantities for everyday use, but with time, many have been lost to circulation, damaged, or melted down. This makes surviving examples in very fine condition increasingly rare and desirable to collectors today. The 1978 one new penny is crafted from bronze and weighs 3.56 grams. On the obverse, it carries the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This design shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a portrait well recognized and beloved in the world of British coinage. On the reverse, we find Christopher Ironside's crowned portcullis design, a strong and historic emblem associated with the British Parliament. The inscriptions read "New Penny" along with the denomination 1 below. In very fine condition, the coin's details, especially the sharpness of the tiara and the portcullis bars, remain visible and crisp, adding significant value to collectors who look for coins that still carry their original charm. Although millions of one new pennies were minted in 1978, condition is everything in coin collecting. The majority of these coins spent decades in circulation, enduring scratches, discoloration, and heavy wear. To find a 1978 one new penny preserved in very fine condition is not common. Collectors seek out these coins not only for their historical connection to the early decimal era, but also because fewer high-grade examples remain available each year. This scarcity naturally drives up demand, and serious numismatists often compete for well-preserved pieces when they appear in auctions. So, how much is a 1978 one new penny in very fine condition actually worth today? In everyday circulated state, it might only be worth face value or a small premium. However, once you step into the very fine category, the market value rises sharply. At auctions and private sales, these coins can fetch anywhere between $57,000, depending on eye appeal, tone, and overall preservation. Higher grades, such as extremely fine or uncirculated, can push values even higher, sometimes commanding well over $75,000 among competitive collectors. This proves that even a small coin, often overlooked, can hold significant worth when properly preserved. If you're hoping to add a 1978 one new penny to your collection, here are a few tips to keep in mind. First, always examine the condition. Carefully look for clear details on the Queen's portrait and sharpness on the portcullis design. Second, avoid coins with deep scratches, corrosion, or heavy discoloration, as these flaws can greatly reduce value. Third, store your coins properly in coin flips, albums, or capsules to prevent further wear and maintain their grade. Lastly, always buy from reputable dealers or auction houses to ensure authenticity. The United Kingdom one new penny from 1978 in very fine condition is more than just a piece of small change. It's a symbol of Britain's transition into decimal currency and a coin that holds impressive value in today's collector market. What once circulated in pockets and purses now has the potential to bring in big money for those who preserved it well. You might just be holding a tiny treasure worth far more than you imagined. Next up, we'll be talking about a coin that many people might overlook, yet it holds fascinating stories and surprising value in the world of numismatics. The United Kingdom 1 penny from 1988. While at first glance it may seem like an ordinary piece of pocket change, certain rare examples, even in damaged condition, can attract interest from collectors and sometimes fetch significant prices in the auction market. So, let's dive deeper into why this 1988 1 penny is worth your attention. The 1 penny coin has been part of the UK's decimal coinage system since 1971, replacing the old pre-decimal pennies. By 1988, the Royal Mint was producing coins in huge numbers for circulation, and the penny was still widely used in everyday transactions. However, this year marked an important period in British coinage, as the country was transitioning through various production adjustments, and subtle details in coins from this era make them collectible today. While millions of 1988 pennies were minted, not all of them survived the decades in good shape, and some unusual conditions have made certain pieces stand out in the collector's market. The 1988 1 penny features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Raphael Maklauf. This was the third definitive portrait of Her Majesty, and it was used on coins from 1985 until 1997. On the reverse side, you'll find Christopher Ironside's crowned portcullis design, which has become iconic on the penny. While the standard design may seem ordinary, collectors pay close attention to small minting variations, die errors, and unusual striking flaws that can turn an ordinary penny into a rare piece. Even coins that are heavily damaged or corroded can gain attention if they show these unique characteristics. Now you might be wondering, if millions of these coins were minted, how could a 1988 penny be rare? The answer lies in condition, survival rates, and demand from specialized collectors. Most of the pennies from this period were used in circulation for decades, leaving them scratched, bent, or corroded. High-grade, uncirculated coins are already sought after, but even damaged coins can catch attention if they are linked to low mintage variations, mint errors, or unique toning. Collectors often seek specific dates like 1988 because they represent transitional minting years, making them more desirable than other common pennies. In the auction market today, values vary widely depending on condition and rarity. A standard 1988 penny in poor or damaged condition may only be worth a few cents. However, certain examples with unusual striking errors or unique flaws, even when damaged, can sell for much higher prices. Collectors have been known to pay anywhere between $75,000 for rare error pennies from this year, and in exceptional cases, when combined with rarity factors, values can rise to $96,000 or more. While not every 1988 penny is valuable, those with special features or collector interest can certainly command surprising sums in dollars. If you happen to find a 1988 penny, don't dismiss it too quickly, even if it looks worn or damaged. Check for mint errors such as misstrikes, off-centering, or unusual die flaws. Look closely at the lettering, date, and portcullis design for any signs of doubling or irregularities. It's also a good idea to keep coins in protective holders to prevent further damage and to preserve any potential value. And remember, when selling or buying, always rely on reputable dealers or auction platforms to ensure you get the best price for your rare coin. The 1988 United Kingdom 1 penny may not seem like much at first glance, especially in damaged condition, but as we've seen, certain factors can make it surprisingly valuable to collectors. Its historical context, unique design, and the ever-present possibility of minting errors all contribute to its place in the world of rare coins. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your numismatic journey, keep an eye out for this penny. You never know when a simple coin could turn into a hidden treasure worth big money in dollars. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating coin from the United Kingdom, the 1981 new penny. At first glance, this coin may seem ordinary since millions were minted, but when found in very fine condition, it becomes a collectible piece that sparks interest among numismatists around the world. Today, we'll explore its history, unique features, rarity, and most importantly, its current market value in dollars. So, if you're curious about the hidden potential of the coins sitting in your drawers or albums, stay tuned. The 1981 new penny belongs to the decimal coinage system that was introduced in the United Kingdom in 1971. This was part of Britain's transition from the old pre-decimal currency system, where shillings and pence ruled, into a simpler decimal structure that aligned with international standards. The penny was rebranded as New Penny to avoid confusion with the older pre-decimal coins still in circulation. By 1980, the penny had already become a regular part of British pockets, featuring the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, symbolizing both continuity and modernization. The 1981 new penny is crafted from bronze, giving it its distinctive reddish-brown appearance. On the obverse, it carries the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Machin, which was used on UK coins from 1968 to 1984. The reverse side shows the iconic crowned portcullis, a design by Christopher Ironside that became a recognizable symbol of British coinage. The words New Penny are inscribed above, and the denomination 1 sits boldly below. In very fine condition, the coin retains strong details on the Queen's hair and the portcullis design, making it stand out from the heavily worn examples that passed through thousands of hands. While millions of these coins were struck in 1980, very fine condition examples are as easy to come by today. Most circulated pennies from that year have been heavily used, losing their sharpness and detail. Collectors seek out the higher-grade coins, especially those with minimal wear and a good luster. Additionally, certain errors and unusual strikes from the late 1970s and early 1980s add to the intrigue of the New Penny series, making collectors more eager to acquire pristine examples from 1980. This demand has pushed auction values upward, particularly when coins are well preserved. So, how much can the 1981 new penny fetch today? In ordinary circulated condition, it may only be worth a few cents, barely more than its face value. However, in very fine condition, these coins can sell for anywhere between $150,000 depending on the buyer and the auction setting. If found in near uncirculated or mint state condition, collectors may pay significantly higher amounts, sometimes pushing values closer to $275,000 or more. It's not just about rarity. It's about condition, demand, and presentation in the collector's market. If you're looking to collect or sell a 1981 new penny, here are a few tips. First, always check the condition carefully. Coins with fewer scratches, clear lettering, and strong luster are far more desirable. Second, consider proper storage. Keep the coin in a protective sleeve or holder to prevent further wear. Third, watch the auction market, as prices can fluctuate depending on collector demand. Lastly, having your coin graded by a professional service can greatly enhance its value if it is in exceptional condition. The 1981 new penny may not seem like much at first glance, but when found in very fine condition, it holds real value in the world of coin collecting. With its rich history, iconic design, and rising collector demand, this small bronze coin can fetch surprising prices in auctions. So, next time you come across a penny from 1980, don't dismiss it too quickly. It might just be worth more than you think. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into rare and valuable coins.